Hi, guys. Can you hear me now? They're trying to silence me. They're trying to silence me. Can't stop, won't stop. Rockefeller came to get down. He came to get down. Okay, so, anyways, anyways, let me just, Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Emmy from Emmy Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. There you go. So I was saying this is supposed to be a quick reading. Okay. At least that's what I've told Mikael. Mihai. Let me just fix this. They can't silence me. Yo. Demons are trying hard. Demons are trying hard. I will not be getting off this live stream. I will not be shutting up. Nope. I'm going to stay focused on what it is that needs to be said. Know what I'm saying? All right. Let's focus. Let's focus. Here goes. Let's go. Doom, doom, doom. Yellow model chick, yellow bottle sipping, yellow Lamborghini, yellow top missing. What? This shit looks like a two-pair. I make 10 years in 2 days. Ladies love me, so do the freaky people. Yo, for real. For real. People have been weird lately. Seriously, I don't know if just people are just like getting too comfortable with me. Like, don't get too comfortable. Don't get too comfortable with me. I'm a Piscean. Remember that always. Remember that always. Okay? Pisceans exist to make you comfortable. Don't get too comfortable, though. Don't get so comfortable that you request to lick me. You know what happens if someone tried to lick me in person? I would do the appropriate thing and punch you in your fucking face. Probably your ball sack, too. I'm from the hood. Never forget that. Regardless of what color lip gloss I am wearing, your girl is hood as fuck. Don't ever forget that. Don't be disrespectful. Stay in your lane. Behave yourself. All right. You guys ready? Let's see. Something needs to be said. I feel like this is going to be a very potent reading right off the bat because of all the that is just in the first few minutes. Okay. So there's something that you're needing to remember, something that you're needing to keep track of I don't know what it is. I'm not getting anything in particular yet. So this is an indication that whatever's going on, it's seeking to try and disconnect you from your homeland, from your center space, right? You say it with your chest. Say it with your chest. Okay. And whatever it is, it's trying to initiate this process that will begin in your springtime where you're going to be upside down. Don't let that happen. Seriously, don't let that happen. Don't allow people who don't take accountability for their behaviors to get you upside down in your space. Some frequencies have been turned on. I can feel it. It's something different. There's a sudden shift in energy. It doesn't feel like a good one. It doesn't feel like a good shift. It feels like trying to quantify so that I could properly explain. It feels like an agitation has been set into place or an attempt to agitate you. So that way, you feel so like jilted, you feel so off that you can't carry forward in the way that you need to. Poise and grace. Poise and grace. There will be the people who exist as a vessel, as an ride for demonic shit. Don't let those people access you. Don't let their behaviors and attempts to access you be the very thing that derails you. No, boo boo. No. No, Habibi. We are not going to allow the jinn folk, freaking jinn. They act as though they are jinn, agents of darkness and chaos. Yeah. It's like, it's a very covert attempt to create disruption, right? Is my audio distorted for everyone? So a lot of the tactics that's going to be used to try and get you derailed has to do with trying to force you into a space of not being accountable, right? Okay, hold on. It's my energy. It's my energy and I cannot help it. Hi. Can y'all hear me now? First I was afraid. I was petrified. Kept thinking I could never live without you by my side. But then I spent so many nights singing crazy, stupid songs. You can hear me now? Okay. You have to always hold yourself accountable for the things that are happening around you, right? So, this is about really recognizing where you are within your process, allowing yourself to be as present as you possibly can, and letting that presence be something that will guide you in your process to gain better clarity on the things that you need, right? You need certain types of things that are going to help you not just move forward, but understand that forward movement is pointless if you don't understand, or at least have some idea as to where you're moving towards. You know, you need to be able to hold yourself responsible, accountable for the process that you're in. Now, there's something that's trying to clear away any of the stillness that you have. So, to clear away stillness, all you have to do is distort things, right? When you throw a rock in the pond, the stillness that creates a beautiful reflection is not going to be a beautiful reflective surface anymore. It's going to have a lot of ripples, a lot of distortions. So that's what's happening. It's like you're needing to be prepared for someone who throws rocks in your pond. I'm not liking where this reading is going. I'm not liking this because this is an upside down cycle that is trying to prevent a homecoming from happening, a reconnection, a homecoming, that type of thing. I'm not liking that at all. Let's see what the other cards are saying. Yeah. There's someone, something. I'm not sure what it is, but it's an attempt to banish you, to hex you, right? They're trying to hide the upside down magic that was done, but I'm telling you already. That's why it needs to be said. I'm trying to decide if I want to behave or if I'm going to choose to wild the fuck out. Someone's doing magic. Michael. On me? Michael says this is a private conversation. I'll tell you right now. The Emmy that would have taken dark magic directed at me and not retaliated, that's so 2017. 2017 to 2020. Hmm. Hmm. I feel my energy surging. Maybe it's time people understand the gravity. Michael, is this a general reading or is this directed at me? Because I want to know. So we're going to do a little energy work right now. We're going to play some mood music. Let's see. First, we're going to breathe because nothing we're doing is intended to be malignant or malicious. But we are going to be correcting this. Let's do my favorite drama music. You want drama? I like drama. You want to start drama? I like drama. Let's have some drama. So, let's go ahead. Okay, let's start over. Inhale the light of your truth. Exhale the darkness of your doubt. Inhale the light of your truth. Exhale the darkness of your doubt. Continue to breathe very deep, very slow, allowing yourself to find the sweet spaces that exist inside you. No one can take you from center without your consent. You sit exactly where you choose, with none being able to move you from your places of peace. Continue breathing very deep, very slow. See and feel yourself in a dimly lit space, a space that's very familiar, a space that feels very safe. Feel your emotions begin to rise. As I wrap you in protection. No one can stop your progression. No one can stop your growth. Take back your power. Take it back by choosing to stay in your peace, regardless of what is tried, regardless of the intention of others. Stay in the sweet spaces of peace that already live inside you. Feel the amount of love that's wrapped around you right now. Notice how comfortable and safe you feel. If the warning regarding malignant intent is for me personally, I'm not afraid. You will not force me into spaces within myself that I choose not to exist in. You don't have that type of authority, regardless of who you pay to try and harm me. Maybe it's time to see and feel the reason why I'm not afraid, the reason why I have no reason to back down. Breathe very deep, very slow. For those who want to see, I give you permission to see me. Feel the tingling in your forehead as your third eye begins to open. I sit here with nothing to hide, nothing to be ashamed of, fully aware of the gravity of me. You will not stop me. You will not shut me up. I am not merely a daughter of the chosen ones. I am a founder, an architect of light, and an elder soul for the elder souls. You will not pull me from my space of grace. You will not cause me to behave in a way that is less than what I am. Try your spells. I promise you, you will regret that, because none of that will enter my field. Instead, it will wrap around you, and you will feel the gravity of your hatred. There is nothing you can do to stop me from walking my path. You can waste your time, your energy, and your life trying to stop me from being who I am. Every time you will fail. You think I am a raindrop? No. I am the sky. I don't need your permission to release my truth upon the land. You have served your place in my journey. You have reminded me the gravity of my choices. You have encouraged me to return to my space of peace. Now that you've served your purpose, you are dismissed. Do not come back until my soul summons you again to use you for another lesson that I will learn just as quickly as I did tonight, at which point you will again become irrelevant. Show yourself some mercy and step out of that cycle, because no matter how many times you try, it will always come to the same conclusion. I will learn, grow, and elevate, and you will be irrelevant once again. So stop hurting your feelings. Because you sure will never hurt mine. That's how you reclaim your power. That's how you do it. You step into the sweet spaces of peace and you let no one disrupt the work you do as you sit there. I give no one the authority to force me into behaviors that are unworthy of me. You thought I was going to do something. I did. I made you irrelevant while I just sat here and spoke my truth. Stop hurting your own feelings, because that's all you do every time you try. Life is good. It's very, very good. I was telling a very dear friend of mine. Let me see. It's good to focus on positive, but it's also necessary at times to face the negatives and look it directly in the eyes with no fear. The things that encourage you in the ways you don't need to be encouraged are the things you need to look in the eyes with no fear and say, no, thank you. No, thank you. And that's that. No, thank you. As a matter of fact, it is within my authority because this is my space that I share. I clear everything from this space that's not in alignment with my grace and my integrity. You feel the shift? It's like this breeze came through, very gentle, and cleared everything out. At least that's how I felt it. I love it. I love it. I know Michael says they were waiting for you to do a massive show of aggressive power. I know, I'm aware. It's not always necessary. It's not always necessary to be aggressive. There's times when aggression is necessary. You get to choose when those times are. You choose that. Okay. So, what's happening right now? This is something that goes beyond just your earthly existence. Now, I say just because that's not all you're needing to take into consideration. Your earthly existence, your earthly identity is also a very important part of you, a very important part of your soul. Okay. Let's not fall into this trap of thinking that you are to discard your entire human existence, your human identity, in exchange for you having some spiritual epiphany, you know? Oh, I love this. That cleared the tightness in my neck. La, 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 la. I'm telling you, I think there's this huge part of me that would make an amazing Disney princess. Alakazula, Minjikabula, Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo. Put them together and what have you got? Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo. I'm saying, can you picture it? I look so pure in dresses. That's why I never wear them. Anyways, this goes beyond just your human existence, but we want to be careful not to take that message and receive it as though your human existence is irrelevant. No, it's very much relevant. It's very much relevant. So, your human existence is the anchor point for this experience. That's why you're not supposed to completely disregard that. So this reminds me of this realization that I had. So there are realms beyond this realm, right? And what people don't quite realize is that there's a mirror realm. Yes. And sometimes mirrors can be used as portals. Excuse me. And so what I figured out is if you shove something in the mirror realm, you take one mirror and you face it in front of another mirror and you keep them face to face, it becomes like a house of mirrors. And it's very, very easy to get lost there. Except what people don't realize is that parasitic things are extremely intelligent at times. The grunts are not very intelligent, but the other things above grunts are very intelligent. And the higher up in consciousness for demonic things, the more intelligent it becomes. So, what I realize is that sometimes that doesn't work because the demonic thing that's now, you think it's stuck in the mirror realm, it actually has an anchor point to bring it back to you, which is like a rope that it can use to find its way back. So the mirror funhouse thing is not going to that's not going to be effective. In order for that to be effective, you have to find the anchor point and remove it so that they're untethered in the mirror realm. They're not going to know where to go. They don't know which mirror to exit. And that's the thing. If you are not tethered into this life, a lot of the spiritual things that are propagated through spiritual communities are absolutely bastardized teachings. Bastardized. Yes, I said bastardized. Absolutely. Absolutely. This concept of you needing to let go of the anchor of this life, this is the anchor point. This life is the anchor point that gives you the gravity of what you are experiencing, how to learn it, what you are learning, the important components of what you are learning. If you are not anchored into this current identity, well, you would be much easier to prey upon. You have no anchor. Very easy to prey on you. Parasitic things will have a field day with you. So you have to be anchored in this existence. There's too much that's being pushed out there as though it is a spiritual absolute truth. And that if you do that, if you practice this, if you eat that, if you don't do this, don't eat that, you know, uh, that's going to somehow, I don't know, make you invincible. No, not at all. That's the furthest thing from the truth. It is the furthest thing from the truth. When you don't listen to what you need, when you don't listen to the communication your body gives you, it doesn't lead to good things. It doesn't lead to good things. No matter how spiritual you want it to be, it doesn't lead to good things. Your body, your mind, your sacred space, it is holy ground. It is holy ground. During my mother's memorial services, I did not I couldn't prepare a speech. It felt like everything I said had to come from the heart. I couldn't determine what would be important to say, how I could help to quantify in the most beautiful and graceful manner the gravity of my mother's existence. I couldn't. I didn't want to say the stereotypical things that people say. You know, it's very easy to fall into the trap of just saying and doing what you think other people expect of you in any situation, right? I didn't want to do that. I didn't feel like it would honor her. And so I didn't create any speech. I didn't write anything down. I thought I'll just speak from the heart. I'll speak about my mother. I'll speak about all the ways in which she enriched my life. And at one point, I distinctly remember that I had brought up a conversation I was having between the self, the soul, and Michael. And it was this realization that we are all prayers made into flesh, that at some point, someone existed, maybe generations before we were born, maybe our ancestors, maybe our parents. Someone prayed to receive an answer. They put their entire heart, their entire soul into this prayer, this request to God itself. Please give me a solution for this problem that I face. Please send me deliverance from my pain. And the only solution, the only answer that God could come up with was you. So then you were made. That's why you exist. That each of us are a prayer made into flesh, existing as a living solution for a problem that needs resolution. Do you understand the gravity of your existence? Do you understand how many people must have prayed for the same thing? And that in God's omnipotent genius, you are the answer. I mean, the gravity of that. The gravity of that realization, that revelation that led to further ripening of my realizations about myself. And there's no way I could ever be convinced that that only applies to me. I mean, come on now. Come on now. I'm sure that applies to all of us. I'm sure that applies to every single last one of us. Like, my gosh. It was the sacred tears of someone that God used to make the clay to form you. The beauty of your poetry. I mean, the absolute beauty of your poetry. Your entire book of life is a book of poetry. Yet you hold it as though it's a manual, this basic do this, do that type of manual. Your entire book of life is a book of poetry, the living words that go in time with the beat of your heart. Do you understand the beauty and the gravity of you? And you let lesser beings convince you to be less than what you are. No. No. You are not expected to be perfect in the human perception, definition, and expectation of perfection. You are not. That is something that is unattainable. That is something that is a concept that was created to keep you in a space of feeling as though you are not enough. You absolutely are enough for every moment that you're in. You are absolutely enough. And when people tell you you're too much, well, then they need to find someone that's less. And when people tell you you're not enough, well, then why are they wasting their time with you? You are where you are, and where you are is perfectly as it is. Even if it seems imperfect, even if it seems like you're deficient in this or that or whatever it is, are you deficient or are you simply becoming aware of the next thing you need to work on? Not work on because you're broken, not work on because it's not enough, but work on because you deserve to see the excellence in that particular aspect of yourself that you need to and are being requested to polish that part of you to a high shine. I don't see anything wrong with any of you at all. I see you as exactly what you're meant to be. I just got a notification. I think this could really help you. Have you had a chance to check it out? I mean, think of what I've said. I think it could really help you. Have you had a chance to check out those aspects of yourself? The aspects of you that lesser people, lesser consciousness has worked so hard to convince you, needs to be put away. It needs to be hidden. It needs to this, it needs to that. Everything except what you really need to do, which is embrace it with both your arms and your eyes closed. What better way to embrace something than in full trust and adoration? I don't know about you guys, but when I embrace someone, that means the world to me. It doesn't matter if I just saw you yesterday or earlier in the day. If I embrace you and you mean the world to me, at some point during that embrace, my eyes will naturally close and I will cherish that one breath where our hearts connect. I mean, like, oh, maybe it's because I'm Pisces and I don't know. But I do have that Cap Venus, so probably not. Maybe it's just part of my divinity recognizing the divinity within you. There's a balance that needs to be returned. The imbalance that was created was to give you a better understanding of the balance that you need, the balance that you had, the balance that you're being invited to reestablish within your life. Sometimes our perception of balance, the balance we lost, it actually wasn't balanced because it wasn't rooted in your center. It was a balancing act. You were pretending to be balanced. That's why you couldn't sustain it. Right? Does it seem like for some reason I keep overcoming things? Does it seem like when you guys have witnessed considerable portions of my life and my journey, and as you've witnessed it, does it seem like I have been able to overcome so much and it seems as though it just rolls off my back? Maybe it might be rough for a few seconds, a few days, but it always just rolls off my back and I return back to, you know, me being me. Because I'm not doing a balancing act. That's why I'm existing in center. When you do a balancing act, you're going to have to constantly check your balance. When you're rooted in center, by nature of your centeredness, as a byproduct of that, you're naturally balanced. There's no effort. You just go right back to balanced. When you are centered, you're not going to overcompensate. You're not going to overreact. You are going to have the appropriate level of corrective measure applied to whatever has caused a temporary imbalance. People say that to me too, that I'm heartless when they witness me do that. That I'm heartless, emotionless, that I'm cold. No, you're just disappointed because you couldn't cut me in the way you wanted to. Spiritual Kevlar bitches. Yeah. hmm Yep. I mean, these are people who should be like, I'm so glad that didn't, you know, keep you down for too long. I'm so glad that you are strong enough to just bounce back like that. Oh, no. No, 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 no. They'll say you're heartless. They'll say you're cold. They'll say you don't care. Nothing affects you. No, what's happening is they want to hurt your feelings. They want to see you cry because it makes them feel powerful. You know why? You see, when you make someone that's weak cry, it doesn't make you feel powerful. It makes you feel like a bully. However, when you see someone that you identify as stronger than you and you can make them cry, when you're a weak person, that makes you feel powerful because you measure your strength based on how you can negatively impact your environment. A truly strong person doesn't do that. A truly strong person measures their worth and their power by how beautifully they can empower and beneficially impact their environment. Mhm. People think when I cry, it's because my feelings are hurt. When I cry, it's because I'm on the cusp of losing control. And I'm crying because I'm forcing myself to reel myself back in. And it's not fair because I want to fuck you up. And I know I can. That's why I'm reeling myself back in. And it's just not fair. Because if you can do stupid shit, why can't I? That's not fair. And that's why I cry. That's why I cry. Because I want to hurt you, but I know I shouldn't. And because I know I shouldn't, then I'm now obligated not to. And it's not fair. Why do I have to be the smart one in this equation? Why can't I be dumb like you? So it can be mutual combat. Please, if you're not Piscean and you're like, oh my God, Pisces are such crybabies. They cry about everything. Bitch, we're crying because we know we can't kill your ass. That's why. That's why we're crying. Not because we're afraid of you, but because we want to retaliate. But we're like, they're just so dumb. They can't defend themselves against me. I'm saying. Okay. So, anyways, your soul is writing a new chapter. You're not yet in this new chapter. Right now, you're finishing up the chapter that you're on, right? mm, mm, mm. Wow. What if your soul is asking you to finish off the chapter that you're on because this new chapter is actually a completely new book? I think for some of us, your life is about to very dramatically change. I think for some of us, the things that you're being asked to experience, it's the precursor for the changes that will just like your life is about to change. Oh my God. Oh my gosh. For some, not for all, because I'm not gonna mislead you. Okay. For some, not many, for some, definitely not for all. For some, you're about to witness your dreams coming true. You're about to witness the types of profound changes that are going to forever change your life. This is not going to be a cycle of goodness and then you get dumped right back into the same monotonous BS. No, like it's going to change forever. I still remember the day I chose my life to change. I remember that day. You believe that? I remember that day. There was a friend, well, I had considered this person a friend on social media. We had known each other for some time. We would chat here and there. Very pleasant person, very respectful, good conversations, right? And one day, I remember exactly where I was at. I was in the parking lot of Walmart in Longmont, Colorado. We had been stuck in the parking lot for a while already. I was in the parking lot of Longmont, Colorado, Walmart, and was chatting with him. My husband was at work. My children just had breakfast. We'd finished cleaning up. I'd say it was around 11 in the morning. And he was telling me how he felt sensations on his face. And I had asked him if he wanted me to check. He said yes. And I had determined it was a very serious parasitic situation. And normally during that time, because that was what, early 2017, 2016, early 2017, somewhere there. Um, Normally I would just offer to do it. I wouldn't, I wouldn't be like, oh, you need to book a session, this and that. That was a time in my life where I just gave everything away, literally everything away. And for some reason, I was like, oh, this thing wants to breach me. If I make it less personal, have him book a session, then it's not going to be this thing. It's going to be a business transaction. There's less opportunity for it to breach me. So I told him, you could book a session on my website. And he said, okay. And I left it at that. I felt really badly too. I felt really, really badly like, oh my God, but he needs me to remove this. This is so bad. It had overtaken one hemisphere of his brain. You only have two hemispheres. Half his brain was overrun already by this thing. And I was just like, okay, I'm just going to trust that this is what I'm supposed to do. He said, okay. And then within about an hour or so, my phone is going crazy with all of these tags. People are tagging me left and right. I'm like, what the heck's going on? And I go and I look, and he has made a post. He had a pretty wide reach. Okay. Back then, I was interacting with people who had a very wide reach. Quite a few of my um, close social media friends had a broad audience. I was the only one that was introverted like that, right? And I see all of these comments. He had made a post saying that I was a money hungry bitch. I was greedy. I was selfish. I was fake and like all kind of shit. And I was like, and he even tagged me. He named me. I was like, wow. Are you fucking kidding me? And you know what? You know what I realized? I got real fucking mad. And I was like, that's it. That's it. That's fucking it. My husband leaves us every fucking day to work. My children don't get to bond with their father so that I can do this shit for free for ungrateful ass motherfuckers like this. I was like, that's it. Things are going to change from this point on. Things are going to be real fucking different. And then they were. It was at that point that I decided there's no reason my husband has to work when I can do all of this and give it all away. No. My children need to bond with their father. He has worked long enough. He can stay home and work with me. And then life changed. Very quickly after that, life changed. No, we didn't become rich. We became aligned. Everything aligned for me. All I had to do was make that decision and truly decide that within my heart. I had had enough. I had had enough. And it wasn't this thing of, I'm going to charge everybody, F that. No, it was like, no, that's it. Nope. No, my heart will tell me who to help. Anyone that my heart doesn't tell me to help, that's a service. That's a service that I need to provide for compensation. It's not me being selfish. It's not me being greedy. Because even for years after that, I would give away about 70% of my personal income, not as a nonprofit, as a private citizen who takes on the tax liability. Yes. And those of you who know me from Facebook, you know how long I was doing that. You know what I was known for. You got a problem? Hey, you go to Emmy, she's gonna fix it. You need money? Go to Emmy, she'll fix it. It's okay. The healing comes in stages. First is the realization. Then is the action to correct what you've realized is the imbalance. Then is the enforcement of what you've just corrected and the maintenance of it. It comes in stages. It's okay. It's okay. It took me still quite some time to really move beyond being stuck in those spaces where I felt like I still had to overgive. I'm not a victim. Yes, people had intentions to take advantage of me, but I invited that. I'm not saying it's my fault. I'm taking accountability for what I allowed. That's how you claim your power, by recognizing the ways in which you allow for something to happen that you don't like. So if you don't like it, you also have the power to disallow it. If you don't want to be aware of the ways in which you create the struggle for yourself, you will continue to struggle, at which point that is a choice. You make that choice. And again, it's really not about blame. It's about accountability. Those are two separate things. It's not about blaming yourself. It's not about fault. It's about the recognition of your ability to co-create circumstance that is pleasurable to you and circumstance that is not. If you don't like it, then you have to co-create one's circumstance, experiences, connections that are pleasurable for you, that are very satisfying. These are the things we have to learn for ourselves. We have to let go of the old programs that still exist within us, these programs that cause us to think, feel, believe that this is all there is. This is all there is because this is all we choose. Oh, say that a few times. This is all there is because this is all I choose. This is all there is because this is all I choose. So if I want more, I need to do more. If I want different, I have to do different. Your life's about to change in a very beautiful way, if you allow it. And it won't change because you said, I command my life to change. The person who told you that is a fucking liar. They're a liar. They heard it from somewhere else. It sounded good. So they repeated it, hoping that the people who hear them say these things will find them spiritual because they found the first liar who said it to them, the original liar who said it to them. They delivered it in a spiritual way. So they thought that it would make them look spiritual too. Stop the lie chain. It's a lie chain. It's a chain of lies. It is a chain of lies. It's just like a chain letter, a living chain letter. You remember those? Where, like, if you forward this message to 50 people in the next 30 minutes, you're going to have a blessing. But if you don't, you're going to be cursed. How about suck a hairy donkey sack? Cursed by who? Suck a hairy donkey sack. All right. So, you guys feel that energy? It's like, do you feel that? It's like a fluttering. Chain, chain, chain. Chain of fools. But do you feel that energy right now? Yeah, just like that, right? Yeah. It's exactly what it is. Someone took what I said earlier as though it was an invitation or an opportunity to attempt high level black magic on me while I'm live. Were you expecting to see evidence of what you're doing working on me? Oh, no, like the only reason I know is because Michael's feathers are getting ruffled. You guys feel that heat? Feel the warmth? His sword's on fire. Do you know what that means? In order to be a good protector, you have to know how to destroy. Do you think what you're doing will affect me? If creation has selected the best destroyer to be my babysitter? You think this is an act? You guys feel that pressure? Like a pressure in the ears? Like a high pitched frequency? You activated a twin wave response. I don't have to do anything. There are things that protect me that you would never understand. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that you volunteered to be made an example of. Your intentions will not reach me. Why? Because you're aiming for a body, not a soul. My soul is anchored in places you can never reach. If your soul is not old enough to understand the language I just spoke, I'd say you're pretty fucked right now. And I don't feel sorry for you because you chose this. May all who witness this learn from your stupidity. Nothing you tried worked. That's unfortunate. Hurt your ego, didn't it? You thought it was an act. No. I have Asperger's. That means I say what I mean and I mean what I say. If it's not rooted in my reality as I receive it, I will not say it. Learn something new every day, don't you? So, crown energy in reverse. Failing to receive the messages of soul. Failing to allow yourself to be right side up so that you could better understand what your soul is instructing you to do or not do. Be still. There are things that are being put into play that will protect you as you travel through your spiritual journey, through your sacred journey. Worlds within worlds, but in reverse. All of the things are being lined up. All of these components of you are being lined up. They can no longer be nested within each other, hiding aspects of you. The truth is being revealed. What's that truth? It's different for everyone. And it doesn't need to be communicated. It's different for everyone. So I just put an energetic shield around this space. I don't want to be bothered by the correction that's being delivered right now. That's none of my concern. So let us see. So as you're on your journey, you're going to be receiving quite a bit of very profound, very, very profound experiences, profound messages, profound realizations, profound opportunities for self-actualization, just very profound things. I'm going to become a published author this year. So mote it be. Your flame is not going to be used to destroy. No. Your flame is going to be used to reignite, to set your soul on fire so that you can accomplish the things that you were too afraid to accomplish thus far. Think of what you've dreamt of doing but haven't had the courage to do. Just let yourself think of it. That's what's being initiated for you. It's a good thing. It's a happy thing. It's a profound thing. You're taking steps forward on your journey to fulfillment, fulfilling your promises of your divine purpose, the reason you were created, the reason you came into form. You are taking steps into fulfilling that. That's beautiful. I love it. I love it. Light code injection in reverse. There will be circumstance that will cause you to think that this is your soul, your spiritual guides, all of these things that are providing you information, that are giving you an injection of truth. No. It's not. You have to be very, very careful during this period because remember, something is trying to derail your progression. Now, what this might lead to is you feeling like you can't accept yourself, you feeling less than, you feeling as though the things you've done is not enough, the person you are is not enough. That is the biggest fucking lie you could ever believe. You want to see me real fucking mad? You want to see me real just livid? Come to me and tell me you're not enough and actually believe that. You'll see a whole nother fucking side of me. The fastest way to piss me off is by trying to convince me that what I see in you is erroneous. And instead, the truth is that you're not enough. Don't you ever call me a fucking liar. Don't you ever try and insinuate that I lack the accuracy, the ability to see with clarity the gravity of you. It's the fastest fucking way to piss me off. So, just because you can't believe yet the amazingness that you are doesn't mean I need to sit there with you in denial. I have the gift of clarity. I am psychic as fuck. Excuse me. But I seen what I seen inside you and I like it. I like it. I believe in it. And shut the fuck up if you're going to try and convince me that it was wrong. I don't think so. I don't think so. There are many things that I am unsure of. There are many things that make me feel very uncertain. But my ability to see the reality of who you are beyond all of your bullshit, that, no, highly developed beach is. That is highly fucking developed. I'm sorry. You're not going to convince me that I saw you wrong. You will, however, convince me that you're irritating as fuck. You gotta try and convince me that. All you're doing is convincing me that you're annoying. What the fuck? What's your issue? That's all. Because I'm not going to stop seeing the reality of your potentiality and what you're here to do. I'm just not. Unfortunately, I can't blind myself from that. I can create stories. I only did that for one person where I created all these stories like, no, I think they're a demon. And yeah, don't say nothing. I was like, no, I think that person's a demon. They're a mimic. They're an absolute mimic. And, I don't believe nothing. Where for years I was telling Michael, like, prove it. Prove it. Show me proof. I'm just saying. Did you see how much I drank today? It says Zulu. Like, what? I'm a Zulu. I'm saying, hey, my life as part of the Zulu nation in its inception, I still love that life. I still hold it dear. I'm just saying. I'm serious. I love that life. It was traumatic as fuck, but I love that life. I'm a Zulu. It just makes me feel so happy to say that. Anyways, okay, so these cycles, they need to go. They need to go. They're upside down. But here's the thing, they're upside down because you refuse to allow your awareness to develop in a way that can be beneficial for you, usable for you, right? You have to allow the changes in your direction because you think you're supposed to go one way, but in reality, you're supposed to go the other way. Allow the changes to occur. It's like when we go to someone's house and we're parked in their driveway. It's time to leave. So we turn on our GPS because we don't know how the hell to get out of that neighborhood and go wherever else we're going to go. And it tells us to go, this one direction. But we never know what direction that is. We only know what direction it is after we completely backed out of the driveway and are committed to a direction. And we see that it's the opposite of the direction we're supposed to be headed. So we end up having to make a U-turn, or we end up having to pause so that the GPS can recalibrate itself. Don't be so committed to something that you forego the guidance of soul. That's a human fatal flaw. That is a fatal flaw. That'll get you in places that you don't want to be. Excuse me. It'll get you into places you don't want to be. If you commit so deeply to something that you willingly ignore, consciously ignore where you're being directed to go, I mean, yikes. One time Soul had me and my family drive across the border from Northern California deep into Mexico. We drove with no plans, no nothing. I just knew we had to go to Mexico. And I remember it was super late at night and we had reached Mexico City and we were trying to get to Teotihuacan and we were going in circles for hours, round and round and round and round. And I was like, can you not just ask somebody? It's like, did they not do that here? And then I don't know. Finally, the sun started coming up. We just kept going. We didn't stop anywhere. I don't remember. Oh, the problem was they gave my husband directions in Spanish, and I think derecho. Is that like a different turn or something like that? In Tagalog, derecho means straight. And he was like, derecho. I was like, oh, you just go straight. It's Tagalog. No, it's not. It's a different meaning. And I think that's what messed us up. I forgot that, it was some word. I don't know. But yeah, no, it had a different meaning. It was still a directional meaning, but it was in the wrong direction. And that's how we ended up going in circles for hours. But see, here's the thing. We weren't committed to the direction that we were given. That was misunderstood. We were committed to reaching our end destination. So eventually we made it to Teotihuacan. Eventually. And then we went down a one-way street in front of the federales who were doing their exercises. Yeah, no. Oh my God, they were all so pissed off. They were so mad and they flagged us down. They looked pissed. And they were walking to our car, to the driver's side, and I was telling my husband, "You better tell him you don't speak Spanish." Cuz my husband, he got nice and toasty brown from being in the sun for so long that he looked like a local. My husband looked like a cholo. I'm saying he legit looked like a cholo. And is that derogatory? If it's derogatory, I'm very sorry. But yeah, they were pissed. And then I was like, and my husband's just like, and so when they came, I was like, Senor, we don't speak Spanish. We don't speak Spanish. We're confused. We're lost. And then I took out my English Spanish translation dictionary. Senor, we don't understand. Órale pues. No say, senor. No, I didn't say that because then he'd be like, you fucking speak Spanish. Oh my gosh. Yeah, no. And then when he realized and I was freaking out in English with my dictionary, he's like, oh, where are you trying to go? We're like, we're so fucking lost. Yeah, so Chale. Yeah, no, fucking, we were lost, and they realized we fucked up. Yo, we fucked up. Yo, no soy marinero. Shit. Yeah, so they told us where to go, and we found the pyramids. But fucking Frey, I was like, say it in English. I'm like, don't you dare try and speak Spanish. Your ass gonna go to jail. Oh my God, it was horrible. Oh my God, I had flashbacks of Senor Meek Enrique from high school. And he would be like, Garcia, you paying attention? No, senor. No hablo, senor. I know what the fuck you're saying to me, senor. So I can only speak Spanish if I'm feeling, extra upset because then my childhood living right by Decono. I used to, they were my homies when I was a kid. They taught me all kind of Spanish. Like, no, I don't speak Spanish. Well, we made it out of Mexico fine. We're okay. Anyways, your abundance is going to be blocked until you can go ahead and get in line with what your soul is asking you. You have to. You have to fall into alignment with what your soul is asking you to do, what your soul is asking you to submit to. It's a process that you're in. It's just a process. If you can do that, if you can submit to the process that your soul is asking you to submit to, I think you're going to see that your life is really seriously, genuinely going to change tremendously for the better. I'm super ishweti. Super ishweti. Okay. So just leave it like that. And I think part of the reason why most is not enough. I think part of the reason why most people are not going to experience that extreme life change is because you're not going to want to conform to or submit to what your soul is asking you to do. That's your choice. It's literally your choice. No one can force you, not even your soul. But just know that for the ones who are genuinely willing to submit to the will of soul, your life is about to become so beautiful. Like, so beautiful. You're about to have all your dreams come true. That's up to you, though. If you're going to fight your soul, you're going to get the shit end of the stick. Yeah. You have to listen and you have to make the choices that your soul is asking you to make, right? Notice how the head is bowed for both the ladies. That's not just, a message of trying to be demure. When you bow your head to something, you are allowing yourself to submit to that. You are not being defiant to it, right? If I rule the world, free all my sons. I love them, baby. Black diamonds and pearls. If I rule the world, I'd walk right up to the sun, hand in hand. Walk right up to the sun, we will land. So here's the thing. Your metamorphosis is going to take you on an adventure. If you allow for the choices that are necessary, if you select those options, then the change will come. Your hope in yourself and your process will be restored, right? You'll no longer have to pretend that you are innocent. You will allow yourself to exist in a space of awareness and maturity. For a lot of people, they like to feign innocence, right? They think that if they feign innocence, they can hide behind that like concept, that excuse of, well, I didn't know. Yes, you did know. You know how I know? Because I just told you. I just told you all the things that your soul needs you to know in order to fall into alignment. You can't say you didn't know. There's a lot of flashes of something. Yeah. It's a lack of balance, uncertainty, that type of thing. Lack of gentleness. You have to allow for your process. You cannot force it. You cannot rush it. You cannot deny it. You cannot any of that. You have to go through the process that you're going through, because that is the way for you to receive the truths regarding your sovereignty, your gravity, the profoundness of your existence. But, if you don't want to, then you don't want to. And, that's up to you. It's up to you. All right. Final card. Because it needed to be said. I mean, I just said a whole bunch of stuff in this live stream. I just said a whole bunch of stuff. All right. Ooh. This is a good card. Card number 25. Beyond the threshold of fear. So 2 is a number of guidance. 5 is a number of change. You're being guided into a space of change in order to complete the cycle. Okay. Enter the lion's jungle. Don't think about getting hurt. Fearful thoughts are phantoms of the mind. No one is harmed in this jungle. Everything is compassion and love. It is your fear holding you back, like a bar behind the door. How I celebrate for you. After so long away from home, you are finally returning. Beyond the threshold of fear, you dispense with your doubts, hesitations, cautions, and tentativeness. They are old friends with whom you no longer have anything in common. Goodbye, old friends, I wish you well, you say, while turning your face to the burgeoning light of a new and yet ancient world. You are visiting as though for the first time, and yet somehow also remember deep in your sacred heart. Finally, we can sit together in the charming courtyard at home. We shall tell our tales of adventure and laugh, and will dance and sing. Eventually, day shall pass into night, and we shall gaze beneath our feet, our mouths gaping open in awe and minds utterly blank, rendered dumb in sweet submission to beauty as we watch the world spinning on her axis. After so long, you are changing your relationship to fear. No more shall it hold you in its thrall. You are becoming able to observe it, to witness it, even to have compassion rather than resistance. Instead of unconsciously sabotaging your growth and choosing to slumber in darkness, you awaken and delight in the light and sound of your divine being. Push and pull, one step forward and a half step back. So it has been for so long, and you have endured. Yes, you are winning the race, brave one, and fear is left to fizzle out. It was always a far less beautiful firework than your passionate conviction for love anyway. Better to let that dazzling firework come to light instead. Much more satisfying. What a spiritual marathon you have been running. Now the end is in sight. You are drinking the sacred waters to replenish you from your journey. The cups are pushed into your hands by encouraging angels as you approach that blessed sash marking the finish line. Your body and soul are on this journey together, and now they are ready for victory and, yes, to rest and recover from the effort. Rest now before a new adventure begins from a completely different state of being. That right there. Rest now before a new adventure begins from a completely new state of being. For those who choose to allow it and actually comply, you're about to begin a brand new life. It might not seem like it at first. It might seem like this is just an opportunity. It might seem like this is the same old thing, same old thing, same old thing. It might seem like there's no way that you could possibly, in any way, shape, or form, be worthy of a life that's worthy of you. I mean, rest now before a new adventure begins from a completely different state of being. This oracle comes with spiritual guidance for you. You have broken through a barrier, a self-imposed barrier of fear, whether it seemed to originate from within your consciousness or from an external set of circumstances that held you back from taking the steps you're now taking or just about to take. These steps may feel strange, new, uncertain, and exciting. Your mind might not have received the memo that fear-based existence is no longer in operation for you. It may need a loving, tender, reassuring, and firm update that the relationship you have with fear is now rather different. You are the witness, not the victim. Your consciousness is strong enough to hold it in compassion. You don't collapse under its weight. In fact, it's becoming less and less substantial for you. When it is there, it seems less convincing than what it once appeared to be. Compelling still at times, perhaps, but not anywhere near as powerful a fear as it once was. That power has been claimed by your heart instead. So give your mind the memo. Get used to the new way and take steps. Test your legs. You'll find them powerful and ready. Get set to fly. Test your wings. Trust is one, daring is the other. You'll find them enthusiastic for flight and ready to learn to ride the currents, purpose-built for soaring to great heights. Trust your vision. Without the murky filter of fear, it's sharp and it is clear. You can see what is meant for you, what is true for you, what is beckoning you forward now. Take the running leap. There is no darkness and light for you anymore, just life, living, free, clear. I'll be running and flying beside you. We'll soar and dive and rise together. Let's play. I love that. I love that card. I love it. I love it. I'm being told to, and I thought that was a fun card. Okay, Kuan Yin cards are not that long, so, you know. Let's go ahead and let's pull one Kiki card. This is just... I've waited 100 years. I'll wait 1,000,000 more for you. Nothing prepared me for. Okay. Oh, girl, you feeling shy? She's feeling timid. She's feeling skittish. Okay. Card number 15, Ivory Swan Goddess. The Ivory Swan Goddess speaks of spiritual grace and purity. The purity of your soul light never fades, beloved. Release guilt, shame, judgment, or fear that you are not enough in any way, so that you may realize your beauty, be more of yourself, and shine your divine essence into the world. Do not cast your eyes away from the perception of your own divine inner light in all its purity and radiance, beloved soul. You may find it easier to believe in the illusion of sins and unworthiness than in the truth of your spiritual innocence. Yet, just like the purity, beauty, and grace of the Ivory Swan Goddess, your own soul is luminous, pure, and eternally graceful. You're being asked to recognize the divine energy within you without holding yourself back from unconditional self-acceptance and regard. It's time to accept your divinity in greater measure, to be present to the pure light within and not try to ignore it, downplay it, or worry that it's not enough. No matter what's happened in your life or what experiences or choices you've made, your soul light is as pure as the divine source itself, because essentially that's what it is. There's no need for spiritual shame or feelings of inadequacy. The light within all of us is exactly the same. We're just in different stages of realizing it. Kuan Yin, Ivory Swan Goddess, wishes to bestow grace upon you, beloved soul, to assist your spiritual growth at this important time on your path. For this to occur, you must be willing and able to receive it. As you choose to let shame simply be a feeling and let it go, as you choose not to empower judgment, condemnation, or criticism of the self by you or anyone else, you are walking the path of remembering the essential soul purity of all beings. This is a peaceful and joyful path. You become capable of seeing the God and Goddess shining out at you in the most unlikely of people, situations, and experiences. You're opening to receive the grace of beloved Kuan Yin. And she wishes to share with you now to help you live more joyfully in such a state of spiritual remembrance. Allow her to bless you with her grace as you remember the spiritual purity of your own being, free from taint, judgment, or flaw. It's time to let go of these perceptions that you're not enough, because really, who told you that? Why do you believe you're not enough? Someone told you that. How much you want to bet it was someone who lied? Someone who felt insecure in the presence of your gravity. And so their words or their actions lied to you to try and convince you to be less than what you actually are, in hopes that they could measure up to and keep up with a diminished version of you. The most loving thing you can do for a person like that is to excel. So in their efforts to try and keep up, they'll find their own purpose and their own truth. This. What a powerful admission. Of course, I know that guy, it's me. I think even if you're someone who does not like to lie or be dishonest, I think it's important that you admit to yourself that you're absolutely capable of lying. Because let's face it, we lie to ourselves about ourselves all the time. I think what we're being invited into is a process of no longer lying to ourselves, a process of being able to be who we are without creating unnecessary distortions of our perception of who that is. I'm still in the process of learning myself. I'm still in the process of giving myself permission to be myself. And that's all I need to know. For now, that's all I need to know, and that's all I need to be in compliance with. This understanding and this acceptance that I am in the process of something that is profound. And as I make progress through that process, I will understand more. And as I understand more, I will accept more of myself, my purpose, and the duty I promise to uphold, whatever that may be. I feel shifting. It's beautiful. I feel shifting. I feel shifting of the trajectory. The self-awareness of one member of our community carries with it the gravity and the capability of shifting, I'd say, about 15 to 20 people who are unaware that they carry a gravity themselves. Do you understand the power of our community? Do you understand that we possess naturally, innately, the ability to change the trajectory of this human journey. That we have the ability to redirect the trajectory of the human evolution. I mean, no, hearing that should not make you feel like you can overpower other people. Hearing that should make you feel inspired to encourage, empower, protect the sovereignty of others. Yep. The truth of self can no longer be denied. The time of acceptance is here. Ooh. I'll leave you guys with this thought. I was speaking to the ministry, the private chat area where I chat with my ministry members. Earlier today, we had mind-boggling conversation. It was profound. Yeah, it was profound. What I want to share with you guys. The way we change the world is not through war. It's not through marches and debates and campaigns and, all the other things. It's just not. The way we change the world is we choose to disengage with the very programs and people who are designed to drain our creative energies. You know how we change the world? By no longer participating in those programs and instead choosing to focus all of your intention on building deep, lasting bonds in small communities where you work cohesively, synergistically, where you can't do everything yourself, but you can excel in one or two things. And your neighbor can't do everything themselves, but they can excel in one or two things that are different from what you excel in, that are different from what the next neighbor and the next neighbor and the next neighbor and the next neighbor excels in. And when you come together, being so different, but having a singular mission of caring for each other, you become a very powerful community. Because the knowledge that you excel in, you can share with others, and it can be done as a group. And we don't need to rely on anything else. And you know what? Just because you formed a small community does not mean that you cannot commingle with and work closely with another small community and another small community. That's how we change the world. We stop listening to the bullshit of I'm against you and you're against me and you're not the proper shade and you're too much of a shade and you're not from the right region, you're not in the right tax bracket. Oh, you don't own a Tesla. Oh, you own, no, fuck all that shit. Fuck all that shit. Who cares? Who cares? Have you realized yet that dependent on our exposure to the sun, we all change colors? Like we all turn different shades throughout the year. Your different shades, your different levels of melanin concentration. Stop. Stop. Stop believing the program that's trying to convince you the different bases that you can use to justify further division, separation, competition, comparison. No. No. What we need to do is drop the fear, the shame, the guilt, right? What I've seen over the past couple of years is people who come from specific regions of the world, their ancestors are from specific regions of the world, and they're being encouraged to hate themselves and hate their ancestors for what? What's that going to solve? What's that going to solve? How about instead we learn from our ancestors? How about instead of carrying the mistakes of our ancestors, we learn from it and make decisions that help us to heal from it? How about instead of the division, we go ahead and celebrate each other, celebrate the differences between our cultures, celebrate other people's cultures by appreciating it, not using it as an aesthetic, not diminishing someone else because what? You think your culture is better than theirs? Like, seriously. I think the changes that we're all going through, it's going to lead to changes that reverberate through the entirety of the human race globally, a global reverberation. When things reverberate, the chances of those stuck programs being vibrated off of you is good. It's good. It's very, very good. Right? You got to make sure that what you do is something that sticks with you always. Oh, no, you cannot record that and keep it. Sorry. Because of the privacy and the copyright nature, you're not able to record and keep it. But you will have a PDF and you'll have access to replay the video for a little bit, for at least a month. But downloads are not allowed. No copying or downloads. And the reason, I'm sorry, Lindsay, I didn't tell Lindsay. The reason we do that is because I'm very big on people's privacy. And we don't know if they want other people to know that they were in the program. So I like to protect people's privacy. And also, a huge thing is in my workshop spaces, it becomes a very safe space, right? It's a very intimate group and it's a very safe space. And people will oftentimes share things that, it's very delicate in nature. It's a space of vulnerability. And so I like to make sure that, you feel safe and you don't have to worry about, will someone share this with someone else? It's really for people's privacy. Yeah. That's the thing. I'm sorry. But yeah, but for the workshop, it's a very um it's a very like comfortable, safe space for you to begin exploring the way you can harness your energy. It's a profound experience. If you guys are going to be part of the workshop, um probably this Thursday, what's today, Tuesday? Yes, Thursday you should be receiving an email from me, uh giving you all the information you need to be able to access everything. If you haven't yet gotten your ticket, the opportunity to buy a ticket for the workshop, the Morphogenetic Fundamentals workshop, will end on Friday because we need to have time to be able to set you up so you don't miss any part of the workshop. If you can't make it on time or something comes up or you have a technical issue, the workshop is recorded so that way you can view it after the event. So, yeah. And, I say you can view it for at least a month. But let's be honest here. I often forget to take it down. So unless I need more space on my website, like because I have a finite amount of storage on the website, it basically stays up until I need that space for storage for like another event or, whatever. But yeah, no, I'm very big on people's privacy and really respecting um that vulnerable space. It's a very sacred, very vulnerable space that's created when I'm teaching. I love to teach. I do. I really love to teach because it's such a pure space that we enter into. And I'm able to share with you openly, like whatever needs to be shared, and just really focus on teaching you. So yeah, I love it. I love it. But yeah, you'll be able to see it for at least a month. But I do have events that have been up still for a couple months already, and I still haven't taken it down. And as long as it's still up, then you're able to view it. But yeah, if it wasn't for the privacy thing, I wouldn't mind if you kept a copy. But you know, my squirrel brain, I do say people's names like, "Oh, hey Jane, that's awesome." Right? And I'll read things out loud that's commented, so it's kind of like I don't want people to feel like, their sacred space will be shared with others. And even in my classes, there's some classes where I don't share the replay, just because like if you weren't there in that sacred space when it happened, I yeah. I'm weird like that. I'm big on, privacy for people. All right, guys, I got to get going. Please give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe. Turn on that notification bell. If you would like to be part of that workshop, it's going to be this Saturday. So if you'd like to purchase a ticket, please head on over k33academy.com. You can find it in the store. Aside from that, give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys again very, very soon. Bye, everyone.